Economics really involves pricing by others, okay? And we respond to a price as a subjective valuation that we have relative to the price that others have set on it. We're a very small component of prices. When you say justice, it personalizes much more beliefs about what should be. And so I think both are very subjective, but I think that the problem that a lot of people have with markets is that it's not the price that they want. And therefore they find it unjust because it's not what they think it should be. And the way that I would explain that to a student or thinking about that would be a quote that I've heard from Ansel Adams. I can't quite find that Ansel Adams said it, but I've looked. But that an economist is someone who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. And that's a reflection really of people who don't understand what market prices are for and what they do, and that they reflect valuation of others rather than themselves.
People should realize that it's costly to implement those policies, and usually they would want the easiest measure to be implemented, which is usually a Peruvian tax. But maybe those taxes are very impractical to implement. For example, it's very difficult to come up with the right amount that the tax should be. So at the end, it's going to be very deliberate how the tax is going to be implemented. And that creates a lot of inefficiencies at the end. I think that if we look at the counterexample of capitalism, which would be socialism, we would find a lot of examples where actually socialism depleted more natural resources than capitalism, and created several tragedies in Eastern Europe and even in Russia, I would say.
I think we should promote capitalism for sustainability. The history, economic history, and economic theory suggests that the ownership of means of production, when it is in private hands, delivers better outcomes than when it's in government hands. The biggest misconception people have about the protecting of their environment is who is responsible for doing that. I think people think that the government or coercive measures initialized by the government are the only means which can help achieve the positive outcome. The general public underestimates the extent to which private business and capitalism can innovate and help us to increase our satisfaction from the environment or preserve it, or create a technology which will help us to deal with climate change in the future.